Looking through the events diary, and I'm looking to the Orwell Hotel for this Saturday, the 5th of February. It looks pretty interesting to me. I mean, it's not what you normally expect at the Orwell. You expect some music or dinner dance, whatever. Coming is Tony Charles, UK Hypnosis Academy accredited kinetic shift practitioner. Tony, that's a long title. What do you do?
Basically, I try and help people in two ways. One, overcome any basic smoking, weight loss, anxiety, fears and phobias on the serious side. And then on the fun side, I like to make people laugh by doing sort of little stage shows and help people understand how hypnosis can work on a very simple level to make people smile, and on a serious level to help with any issues they want to overcome or they want to work in themselves with.
We've got to get that balance right, because hypnosis over the years has had a bit of a mockery of it, made of it, and people doing silly acts. But it goes back a lot longer than that, and it is a science, isn't it?
It's more an everyday thing that we actually do ourselves. We just don't realize it. But like I say, it's been around for a very long time. When they ran out of anesthetics in the old wars, they used to use hypnosis even for amputees, for doing major surgery like that, which was wonderful. Then it came through into the stage side of things. And yes, it got a bit of a bad name, especially around the 80s and the 90s, where people were being made a fool of, and it was more the blue stuff. But now it's progressed. Everyone now understands it's not as bad as it is, and you'll find more stage hypnotists becoming more and more professional, where people want to actually know about the way hypnosis works without being made look like a fool. And the reason I'm called a gentleman hypnotist is because that's one thing I don't do. I do not do anything to make people regret volunteering.
No, because people would be scared to come. I mean, before you talk about television people of the 60s, 70s, 80s, I think, no, I wouldn't go on there and make me look silly. But how does it work then? I mean, you've got different seminars coming up. Imagine if I was a smoker. I'm not, thank goodness, touch wood, I never will be, and I'll come to you. So how could you help me?
In two ways. We can do a one-to-one session, or we can do a group. And the reason we do groups is people feel more connected with other people when they've got the same issue. So very, very simply, we will give you a brief understanding of how the unconscious and the subconscious works, and help you understand that it's a habit and not an addiction. And habits are formed where addictions is hardwired into the brain. So it's breaking a habit. We then explain a little bit more after finding out where you've been with your smoking history, your smoking journey, and try and find out what your trigger points are, whether it's picking the phone up, you pick a cigarette up, you close the car door, you pick a cigarette up, you have a cup of coffee. All these trigger points can be easily eradicated by learning a new response, because all you've done is you've learned how to smoke. People who smoked in the first place probably never enjoyed it, but they just carried on because of the peer pressure and the looking cool and all that kind of stuff.
So you're getting us to recognise those trigger points, because some people wouldn't realise that when when they finished a meal, they used to light up a cigarette, or when they get a bit stressed, they'll grab for a ciggy, and they did it automatically. So if you make them aware they're doing it, it's sort of...
Yeah, it's an automatic response that can easily be resolved. But the person has to want to achieve the outcome. That's the big thing. But being a stage hypnotist, and this is one of the misconceptions, I can't control anyone, and no one can be controlled by a hypnotist. If that was the case, I'd be standing by a cash machine all day, and I wouldn't have to work for a living, because it would be so easy to, if that was the case, so easy to take money off people. But it's not. It's impossible. So by helping people understand the trigger points, how their subconscious and unconscious works, we can help them understand their situation, and then we help them go into hypnosis. Everyone has the ability to do that if they're willing to do that. It's almost like whatever word you want to use, a different word each week for all these things: meditation, trance, hypnosis. But the most important thing is it's not sleep. And everyone thinks, oh, it is going to put me to sleep. I won't be able to hear anything, and he'll control me. If the client could not hear my suggestion, then nothing would work. So they're not asleep. They're just in a deep state of wonderful relaxation where they're open to suggestion and open to change work.
And it's an education, because when they go away from you, I mean, they can just go straight. They can come out the Orwell on Sunday or Saturday and light up a ciggy. They've got that free choice. You haven't enforced it on them. You've just raised the awareness in their. Well, you just how do I say? You're just telling us what we already know, really, aren't you?
That's all it is. I'm just think of me, or think of any hypnotherapist, a good hypnotherapist, as a guide. You'll want to achieve something, and with the help of that guide, he'll help you achieve the state that you want to. It's very simply like going to the gym. Some people can go to the gym and be quite happy and lift weights and do whatever they do, all the aerobic stuff. But some people need a trainer. They need to be told, right, now you need to do this, now you need to lift this one, now you need to push this one. And that's basically what a hypnotherapist does. He guides you into the state that you want to be in to make the changes that you want to achieve. Are
you doing it now with your voice? Because I'm getting very comfortable with your voice in my headphones, and I'm getting I'm getting reassured. Is that part of it? Because it does feel very comfortable, you talking in my head.
Oh, thank you. That's all the late nights and early mornings that's created the vocal cords straight. No, the important thing for everyone is to feel comfortable in front of the therapist. Now, it's like going to a doctor. People may want second opinions. People may not like the person that's in front of them. So it's very important that whoever they choose, whether it's me or somebody else, if they want to achieve the results, they have to make sure that they're comfortable with the person. And I'm as relaxed as anything. I have a stammer. Unfortunately, I always have had the stammer for a long time. My therapist told me how to control it. So I tend to be relaxed for me to enable the stammer not to come out every now and again. But thank you for your kindness. I really appreciate that.
We've spoken about stammering on our Discoverability program. We'll have to get you back on and talk about that again, because it does affect more people than you think. Now, you've talked about the smoking, and my next question, I think I've already answered it, because if you were talking about weight loss, it must be very similar sort of therapy that you give through hypnosis. I mean, looking for triggers and that sort of thing and finding out why. Is that right?
Whenever there's a problem, or whenever there's an issue that people want to resolve, it usually is because of a learned response. Now, it takes us quite a while. So let's say someone's been, eating chocolate for 10 years. That at 3 o'clock, that's what they do. Every day they have a chocolate or a biscuit or whatever it is. So the subconscious knows, hang on, it's 3 o'clock. It's time to have the biscuit. And that's when it becomes automatic. And so what we need to do as therapists is to interrupt that pattern and create new learned responses. And so you know that we can put a suggestion in that at 3 o'clock you won't have the chocolate or the biscuit, and we'll put another suggestion in there, and also some breathing techniques to help you cope with little things that do pop up when you really, really want something. But we don't want people to stop eating the things they like. We just want people to be able to have the choice to choose the correct foods, the correct amount. And so, yeah, the smoking, the anxiety, the overeating, the fears and the phobias, they're all kind of not easy, depends on the person. They're reasonably easy to help and assist people to control that.
I like the way you say you're not dealing with addiction, you're dealing with habit, because my fridge is a habit. I mean, to go to my kettle to make a cup of tea, I have to walk past the fridge, and as I go past, that door opens. That's a habit, isn't it?
Right.
That's a habit. I can stop. Apart from putting a padlock on the fridge, I can stop that, can't I?
and that is very common, because it becomes a routine. And if you was to stop that routine, people say, "Oh no, it's not a habit. It's not a habit." Okay, well, if you rearrange your furniture at night, and then try and find your way to the toilet if you go during the night, your learned response before rearranging your furniture is you know your way around straight away, and you just go straight to whatever you need to do. You rearrange the furniture, all of a sudden that habit is interrupted. And so all we need to do is put a padlock on your fridge and you'll be fine.
Or rearrange the furniture, stub my toe, and I won't feel like eating a biscuit anyway. Tell me a bit about the fun side, because you do also this curiosity workshop, which I am really interested in, because I want to know more about what is it? A skill you've got? Is it a gift? What is it? Is it just it's a skill, isn't it, that you've got?
I like to think of hypnotherapy. Once you've learnt all the the learning side of things, then it becomes what I call an art form. It becomes something that because everyone's different and everyone needs to be treated differently. And you can't just open page 7 for this person and say, oh, they need that response. So I have to look at each individual person, and you have to learn how to work with individuals and learn with their problems. So what I wanted to do was achieve an understanding of hypnosis and hypnotherapy. So I came up with the Curiosity Workshop, the Hypnosis Curiosity Workshop, purely for people to come along, ask any questions they want. I can then go through some very, very simple psychology. I can actually help them understand how the conscious and the subconscious works. And then if there are any volunteers, we can put them into hypnosis, not in a stage way, not in a make you cluck like a chicken, because that's what everyone thinks, but to actually show the power of hypnosis through various suggestibility tests. And they can go, and if the people in the room are happy for it and want to come out, and then yes, we can do a few little sketches to make them smile. But the primary reason for the actual Curiosity Workshop is to help people understand the power of hypnosis, what it can do, and it's all within them.
And break down those misconceptions and the things that those naughty boys of the 80s did on television. It's not just that; it's more than. All right, you're at the Orwell on Saturday. You've got sessions. I've got it here in front of me: 12:30, 3:30. You're going to be busy, and 6:30. All the details are on. All the details are on there, so we can look forward to welcoming you. And if anybody's going to see you, I'd love to hear back on Monday how they got on. Will you come back and talk to us again soon?
I certainly would, because and I'm also going over this next week to source good venues for my stage hypnosis show. So maybe in the the end of March, beginning of April, I'll be back over again. We need to get people smiling, and they've had a tough 2 years. A lot of anxiety has kept in. Let's have some laughter in a good way.
So people listening today, and they've got a venue, you'd be interested in hearing from them and whether we can come and perform, because it doesn't have to be a theatre. It can be anywhere, can't it? Where you can perform. It can be a coffee shop, a restaurant, anything.
It has to be a certain type of area. But if people, I do private personal hypnosis shows in people's homes for parties, and for parties, celebrations, bits and pieces like that. So it can be in your front room if you want it to be.
Okay, we'll speak to you soon, and enjoy yourself on Saturday.
Fantastic, and I appreciate your time. Thanks very much.